Good morning and happy Valentine's Day. I'm up at the Erie National Wildlife Refuge here in Crawford County, Pennsylvania. Here is a look at the visitor center. Despite the name Erie, it is nowhere near Lake Erie. It's about 35 miles south of the city of Erie, Pennsylvania. And there are actually two sections of land that make up the refuge. The Sugar Lake Division is 10 miles east of Meadville, and the Seneca Division is 4 miles southeast of Cambridge Springs. This morning I'm going to hike the Tsuga Trail. I'm not sure on the pronunciation, but it's about 1.2 miles and it's a loop. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has control of the refuge. Their purpose is to conserve and protect wildlife and their habitats. This refuge was established in 1959. The namesake comes from the Erie Indians, the Native American tribe that lived on these grounds. Designated as an important bird area by the Audubon Society, 230 species of birds call this place home. Activities include bird watching, hunting, fishing, and hiking. There are educational programs throughout the year for children. And they do have a really nice visitor center, so I suggest you check it out. And their hours are from 8:30 to about 4 p.m. Signs of wildlife. Quote, sometimes when you do not see an animal, you still see signs of its presence. Tracks show in uncovered soil. All these animals have distinct tracks. Those of raccoon look like a little human handprint. Feathers can be used to identify birds. Scat or droppings is evidence of the presence of wildlife and is often used to identify the animal. Shape, size, and remains are important clues. I remember my kids in 4th grade, they actually dissected owl pellets. That was their science project they had to do in school. And it's important, I know it sounds gross, but it's important when you study animals to dissect their scat. That way you can find out what their diet is. Nice mix of deciduous and evergreen trees. And usually for Valentine's Day, I treat myself to a hike or day trip. I'm very low maintenance. I don't need jewelry, clothes, chocolates. Just want to be outdoors hiking. I don't need clothes or jewelry because where am I going to wear them to? I don't get dressed up too much. And for my job, which was pretty much outdoors, I'm not allowed to wear jewelry. I have to wear proper footwear with support and proper clothing. It wouldn't be worth it for me getting my nails done because my hands are in gloves. So if I got dolled up for work, I'd be breaking every safety code. So I'd rather just treat myself to a hike. But whenever I do get dressed up, I can look nice when I really want to. And there's a sign specifying animal tracks, and sometimes, quote, sometimes even when you don't see an animal, you are aware of its presence by the signs it leaves. Tracks are probably the most positive identification left behind because every animal's tracks are distinct. See if you can find any of these tracks and discover what has passed here. It's easier whenever there's snow on the ground, but we might see some tracks in the mud. Some beautiful trees. So I'm gonna probably hike this counterclockwise. I'm just gonna follow the arrow. beautiful little bridge. And this is one of 3 wildlife refuges in the state. The other 2 are in eastern PA. Sounds like I hear a woodpecker. I hear it, but I don't see it. It's probably in one of those trees. Woody woodpecker. I did grab a map at the visitor center. If the visitor center is closed, there are maps at the trailhead. Just take a picture of it with your phone. Or I highly recommend downloading a map because cell phone signal may be spotty. So download it to your phone, screenshot it, grab a paper copy, take a picture of one, whatever. Just make sure you have a map. And so far the trail seems flat, so this would be a great place to take children. This is my first time hiking this trail, so I'm not sure what to expect. It was a nice drive up on all country roads. Get to go through some small towns, which I love. I love old architecture. Some beautiful barns, beautiful old churches. I'm a big fan of back roads. Sometimes it's nice just to get off the interstate and take back roads and explore. See so much. Trail looks like it can be muddy. And it's warming up nicely. High today is going to be 54 degrees, which is nice for February. We really haven't had any cold snaps this February. Usually if we get like a day near 60, the next day is like in the 20s. We have a sharp cold front that moves through. But this year, we haven't had much of that. Here we have a cute little bridge. Just want to watch because it's still a little icy. Come out of the woods into a clearing. Oh, I love the smell. Pre-spring. Groundhog was wrong. Groundhog predicted 6 more weeks of winter. This section is rutted, so of course you want to wear proper footwear. I say that in all of my videos. I can't stress that enough. These look like paw prints from a dog. Looks like a big dog by the... It's warming up nicely. The sun is getting a little bit higher in the sky and a little bit stronger. In February, we gain the most daylight. So pretty soon, the sun will be setting after 6 p.m. And the trails are marked. I don't see any blazes, but they have these markings, so I'm going to go left. That was neat. And this is a stop off for migratory birds. And at the visitor center, they do have brochures if you're into bird watching. So bring your binoculars. This would be a great place to watch for birds. And the trails are pretty much quiet. You don't hear much in the noise of highways or traffic. So you just hear the birds, and earlier I heard a woodpecker. It's back into the woods we go. And the Erie National Wildlife Refuge is located between Meadville and Titusville in Crawford County. The trails are very well maintained. Here we come to an evergreen forest. Look how straight these trees are. Right here is a vernal pond, and these ponds are present until late spring. They dry up in the summer, but this is where amphibians lay their eggs. And here's another vernal pond. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The ground's still a little frozen. Nice little bench. And a beautiful wooden boardwalk going through the wetlands. Back into the woods I go. This looks like a beautiful evergreen forest. There's a nice variety here. And this kind of gives me like a Cook Forest vibe with all these hemlocks. Wow, this is really neat. Looks like something carved away at the tree. Forest layers, quote, plant communities are made up of different types of plants. The canopy consists of the tallest plants and usually the most dominant. Trees often form the canopy. Understory plants such as small trees and shrubbery are usually subdominant and grow in the middle layers of the community. Grasses, ferns, and other ground covers form the ground layer as the lowest vegetation in the plant community. Animals are also found in different layers. Some live near the ground, while others stay high in trees, quote. And you can clearly see the different layers of the forest. And the vernal ponds would definitely be the ground layer, where the amphibians lay their eggs. In about 2 months, the ferns will be coming up. These all look like new growth pines. I'm just taking my time enjoying the hike. I'm in no hurry. Because if you walk fast and rush through, there's a lot you miss. Here, there's a dead tree. Quote, "Dead trees have a special place in the forest. As a tree dies, insects begin to break down the tree while serving as food for woodpeckers and other animals. The softer wood makes it easy for woodpeckers to make a cavity which will serve as a home and nursery for it and other animals such as bats, bees, and snakes." Never knew that. So if you learned something new, I never knew snakes could go into dead trees. Something to watch out for. I don't think we're going to see any snakes today, but they have been out in February. If we get a day that's warm enough, they're going to come out from their den. This trail is so cool because there is such a variety. You got an evergreen forest, and you walk out into a deciduous forest. Deciduous trees lose their leaves every fall. Then you walk out onto these wooden boardwalks into wetlands, so there's so much variety. And the trails are flat. So this is a great place to introduce small children to hiking in the outdoors. And it's not monotonous, there's different things, which is great for a small child since their attention spans are smaller. And they do have great educational programs. So it's something I highly recommend you check out. Now we're coming out of the deciduous forest into wetlands. This place is so cool. Here's a nice wooden boardwalk so you don't have to slog through the mud. Okay, now we enter into another evergreen forest. This is so peaceful. And these trails are also groomed for cross-country skiing. So if you're hiking and if you see cross-country ski tracks, do not walk in the tracks, because they're like potholes for the skiers. Here's the short loop and long loop. I'm going to see what the long loop's all about. It's just a beautiful hike through the forest with the sun coming through the trees. Just lovely. Decomposers, quote, "Decay is part of nature's recycling system. Many kinds of specialized organisms called decomposers are involved in the decay process. Bacteria, fungi, and insects are familiar examples of decomposers. They use enzymes and a special digestive process to break down dead plant materials, thus returning nutrients to the soil." It's not a hike without seeing fungus. Trail's a little bit rugged in this section, and we have a little bit of a descent. First one on the entire hike, but doesn't look like it's too complicated. I've had steeper elevation changes. This is nothing. How cute, somebody built a snowman. I'm thinking of the movie Frozen. My daughter loved that movie when it came out in 2014. Especially the song, "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" And the other one is Let It Go. I completed the 1.6 mile hike, and I'm just about back at the visitor center. Let me say, I was impressed by this trail. Very well maintained, lots of variety, got evergreens, deciduous forest, and wetlands, and it's very well marked. And the nearest town is Guy's Mills. Here is French Creek in the borough of Cochranton. Looks like the creek is really flowing. Oh, there's a railroad bridge. Current looks very, very swift. This is Route 173 Adams Street Bridge. And here's a place you can launch a kayak, or you can fish from the shores.